Hi everybody, I'm Jaime K and welcome to today's episode of Save the Kales. Today we're making a delicious spring pasta dish with some fresh herbs and fresh peas and a tempeh bacon crumble. We're going out to the community to meet some of our neighbors doing really fabulous things, and then we're going to cook up a simple dish using some zucchini and roasted onions, so stay tuned. Everybody, we're gonna get started on the first dish, some baked zucchini sticks with a sweet onion dipping sauce. And all the dishes we're making today are really great for the springtime and the summertime. If you have a bunch of people over your house, we're gonna use some great seasonal ingredients and they're cheap. So to get started, the first thing we wanna do is roast an onion. This is easy and it tastes so good. So just get a whole onion, a sweet onion, Vidalia onion would be great, or any kind of sweet onion, and set your oven to 425 degrees and then just stick this in there just like this for an hour. So you're not peeling it, you're not cutting it, there's no oil involved, you're just sticking it in the oven. And this is what it's gonna look like after about an hour to an hour and a half. It's gonna get really like caramely and the paper starts to come off a little bit. And remember, you just wanna prep that ahead of time. You can also do it the day before. We're gonna cut our zucchini. So I'm just gonna cut this guy into sticks. So I'm cutting it in half and then I'm gonna have it lengthwise and then just cut it into thin slices. There we go. Okay, we'll add those. So now we have all of our zucchini. We have 2 zucchinis right now in here, and I've just coated them with a little bit of olive oil, and then get your hands in and toss them. So the olive oil is just to make the breading we're gonna make stick to them. A lot of times when you bread vegetables, there's like an egg whitewash. Obviously we're not doing that. So that little bit of oil will just give it that sticky texture. Now we're gonna make the breading. So I have just a great big bag, resealable plastic bag. If you don't use these, you can do this in a bowl. But I'm gonna put all of my breading ingredients in the bag because I just think that's easier and it cuts down on a mess, and then you don't have breadcrumbs all over your countertops. So this is 1 cup of breadcrumbs. They're just plain unseasoned breadcrumbs. You can also use brown rice cereal if you want to. So an unsweetened brown rice cereal, especially if you are gluten-free, that would be a really great substitute for breadcrumbs. And this is 1/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast, 1½ teaspoons of garlic powder. And this is optional. It's a ½ teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You don't have to use that if you don't want to. And a ½ teaspoon of just some salt and pepper to bring out the flavor. Okay, shake that around. This is when you can get your kids involved or start like a conga line or something. All right, now it's all mixed up. We're gonna take our zucchini, throw them in there. You might have to do this, twice. Otherwise you won't be able to mix anything. Seal it up well, or you'll have a lot to clean up. Okay, these are coated, and now we're gonna get a big baking sheet. You may need 2 if you're using 4 zucchinis. And just put them down so they're not overlapping. You just wanna lay them flat and fill up the whole sheet. And these are gonna go in the oven for 20 minutes at 450 degrees. And after 20 minutes, you're gonna wanna flip all of them over and cook them for another 10 minutes. While the zucchini sticks are cooling down a little bit, we're gonna get started on the roasted onion sauce. So we have that beautiful roasted onion. This just looks so cool. I thought this was pretty neat. So now that it's cool enough to handle, you can actually peel all that papery stuff off, and you'll see inside there is that soft roasted onion. It's a little weird looking, right? But I think it's pretty cool. So just go ahead and stick that whole thing in your blender or food processor. It's very, very soft, so it's gonna blend very easily. And we'll just set that aside. So now to the blender, we're going to add 1 cup of white beans. These are cannellini beans. Any kind of neutral tasting white bean will work well. So now we have here 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast and a little pinch of salt. This is 2 teaspoons of a whole grain spicy mustard. And that just gives it a little kick, but it's still pretty sweet. The onion gets really sweet after it's been in the oven. This is a teaspoon of agave and a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. And again, remember to look for that Wizards brand, because a lot of these types of sauces with the silly name, a lot of them have anchovies in them. So you want to make sure you find a vegan brand. And that's everything. So we're going to blend this up. All right, so that is all done. And now we're going to get ready to plate everything. Well, we have plated the dip, and that makes a whole lot. So you're gonna have definitely enough of this stuff for as many zucchinis as you possibly have. And now we're just gonna plate up those zucchini sticks next to it. And that's really all there is to this. All right, guys. There you have it, breaded zucchini sticks with a roasted sweet onion dip.
Call Cartridge World Phillipsburg to save time, money, and the planet.